Start to the east of London in 1956, the centenary celebrations of the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway. One of the Tilbury tanks, formerly number 41966, was restored to its pre-grouping condition as LTSR number 80 Thundersley and used on special trains. On shed were various other Tilbury tanks built by the LMS, the last of which were withdrawn in 1960. Also seen was the only other Tilbury design, an 062 tank. In the 50s, London Transport still operated steam engines, and number L44 was used on a Railway World special on the Chesham branch on the 22nd of May 1955. The branch was a joint Metropolitan Railway and Great Central line, and a Robinson Atlantic tank also participated on the tour. Number L44 was the former Metropolitan number 1 and has since been preserved at Quainton Road. Cam didn't ignore electrified lines and recorded old stock on branches near Watford, with suburban trains in the background. Both were short branches of the ex-LNWR Euston suburban lines. Rickmansworth is gone, but Croxley Green still survives. In February 1956, Cambridgeshire was blanketed in snow, and these shots were taken at the junction station of Bartlow on the Cambridge to Marks Tey cross-country line. The branch to Audley End was worked by a northeastern import, a G5 tank with clerestory stock. Great Eastern types predominated on the main line. Most noteworthy motive power was the Great Eastern E4 class, the only class of 240 passenger tender engines to survive into BR days. 18 survived until 1954, but they were all withdrawn between then and 1959. At Cambridge itself, an Ivert 442 tank was a reminder of the elegant days of locomotive design, whilst another E4 shuffled about the yard. To the west, on the cross-country line from Cambridge to Oxford, post-war motive power, to the design of another Ivert, was used on push-pull workings. An older LMS design, a compound, was used for an SLS special to Doncaster and York on the 17th of June 1956. By this time, evidence of the unification of British Railways was seen, as besides dealing with ex-Great Northern and LNER engines, Doncaster Works was overhauling ex-LMS stock. Pre-grouping contrasts were particularly notable. The tour then moved on to York, where the roundhouse revealed a rather more traditional appearance. Inside, northeastern designs included the Y8 Pilot, two J25s, all Worzel designs, and a Raven-class T1 heavy shunting tank. In In September the same year, a Raven B-16 was used on a tour of the lines to the west of Darlington, which pivoted on Bishop Auckland. The station at Bishop Auckland was triangular and was served by 5 different routes. The train visited branches in the cradle of railways. Wellfield was on the Stockton to Sunderland line. The train ran south on this route. In 1955, Shildon, on the original Stockton and Darlington Railway, was served by steam, the North Eastern Railway's electrification programme having been abandoned in 1935. On the Bishop Auckland to Consett line, passenger services were cut back to Crook in 1956. The lines are all closed now. The next line to the east from Bishop Auckland to Durham survived until the 1960s, to be closed under the Beeching Acts. North Eastern G5s were the mainstay of services shedded at Bishop Auckland. On the route to Barnard Castle, North Eastern locomotives still ran, supplemented by BR standard types. To the east of the main line, Guysborough lost its services in 1964. It was at the end of a half-mile spur from the Middlesbrough to Whitby line, and the trains were reversed in. Saltburn was also a spur off the line to Whitby, but was an important terminus, still open today. In 1955, North Eastern and LNER tanks operated the Teesside passenger services, and heavy freight was hauled by North Eastern 080 mineral classes. These northeast coast sequences were all taken during 1955, and the next line is that from Northallerton through Stockton to Sunderland and South Shields. Picton had ceased to be a junction the previous year, when the branch to Battersby closed to passengers. 2 more of the ubiquitous northeastern A8s are seen at Stockton. 44 of these were built as 444 tanks between 1913 and 1921, and converted to Pacifics in the 1930s. The BR railcar programme of the 1950s replaced them, and withdrawal commenced in 1957, completed in 1960. Pallion was to the west of Sunderland and on a line closed in 1964, which ran along the south bank of the River Wear. Moving northwards, East Boldon is still open on the Sunderland to Newcastle line. North of the Tyne, Monk Seaton is now part of the Tyne and Wear Metro, although at this time it was part of BR's Tyneside electric system. Services from Blyth remain steam